Let's talk timber frame. Sorry. I know I haven't uploaded in a while. The good news is I'm back. So today we're going to talk about timber frame construction, timber frame homes. The idea of timber frame construction began in Ireland, probably about 10 years ago, I'd say. But things have changed. I mean, timber frame has survived the test of time, and timber frames have been used ever since. So I suppose back then they were considered like kind of an entry-level house type. Now they're much more than that, and in many cases people building very high, like A2, A1 energy rating homes and passive homes used timber frame technology to create those homes. So generally speaking, timber frame companies are very highly geared towards high energy rating. What are the benefits of timber frame construction? I suppose I say the first benefit is the frame obviously is largely constructed off-site in the factory of a timber frame company. So the benefit that is most of the construction is done in a controlled environment in a factory. So obviously if the company is repeating a similar type of construction process, they can heavily control it. You have very tight tolerances in terms of measurement, and they can design all the insulation, and all the insulation can come pre-certified. So basically they're assembling a kit on site. The next benefit, of course, is the speed of construction. I mean, if you build a house with block work, it can take 6-8 weeks to get up to roof level, depending on the size of the house. Timber frame structure can get up there in 2 weeks, so it's a huge saving in time and of course money on site. If you have a builder on site, he's on the roof 6 weeks quicker. In many cases, the timber frame company will actually create the trusses for the roof, so the building is dried in 6 weeks quicker. There's less overheads from the builder, so those benefits should be passed on to you. And the building is dried in inside 2 weeks. A drier building means you can get on to finishes quicker, and you can control the building, control the environment in which the building is being created. And there's many benefits to this. Are there issues with sound? Like when timber frame houses first came out, there were issues with sound because I said the timber frame was new to Ireland, the technology was new to Ireland, and in many cases they were poorly assembled and constructed on site, and there wasn't any soundproofing insulation installed. In many cases you would sound from one room to another because you had a timber frame wall and plasterboard both sides, and you'd sound between the ground floor and the first floor because people weren't installing the soundproof insulation between the ground floor and the first floor. In reality, if you use the right soundproofing insulation and the right plasterboards, there should be a vast improvement in sound. Timber frame companies can achieve the same level of soundproofing ability as block work. Generally speaking, timber frame is a direct comparison of block work in terms of soundproofing ability when built correctly. Has it the same fire rating? Well, all buildings are designed with a certain fire rating. So depending on whether you're 2-story or 3-story, it could be half hour or hour. So to comply with building regulations, there are various products, fire rating plasterboard, fire rating insulation that's applied to the timber frame structure to ensure it does comply with fire regulations. So the timber frame has to meet all the same regulations as a blockwork structure has to. When you think of a timber frame versus a blockwork, you think of blockwork as being a product that can last forever, and the timber, as we all know, doesn't last forever. But I suppose when you think of that, I mean, many homes that were built in our parents' time, if you're renovating them or extending them, in many cases, not much of the house is left by the time you've knocked down walls and taken off roofs and added extensions and everything else. So we are, in many cases, long-term houses are become almost obsolete because you think you can build a new house very energy efficiently. Trying to renovate an old house and shoehorn energy efficiency into an old house and good spatial design is becoming more and more expensive. And you kind of wonder, will we get to the point when it's not feasible to actually renovate and extend old houses anymore? They have better locations. I mean, some of the best locations in around our cities and suburbs and whatever are old houses, so it has that benefit. But as new regulations come in, it'll become more and more expensive and more onerous to actually bring old houses up to new building regulations, which is what's coming down the tracks with the new NZEB regulations. So the question is, will we always be renovating old houses? Hard to know. For the time being we are, but it mightn't last forever. So thank you very much for joining us yet again. Sorry I've been away for a few weeks. Hope you all had a nice summer and a good time as well. And looking forward to a busy autumn. We look forward to talking to you again very soon.